This is QTV News. I am Mamudu Gajaga and thanks for joining us. Coming up tonight, two witnesses testified on Thursday at the TRRC on the events of the April 2000 student demonstrations. A previously well-known carpenter who suffered life-altering injuries while working at a building site has suffered one more heartache after another. Is there a ban on the use of plastic bags in the Gambia? Well, if that's the case, then it hasn't been effective, as we find out. It appears the long-standing problem of the Bakote dump site may soon be over. There are plans to recycle the pile of rubbish at the site. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Lance Corporal Abdul Njai of the Gambia Armed Forces on Thursday admitted participating in the shooting and torturing of students at Brikama on the 11th of April 2000. He made this revelation while testifying at the ongoing TRRC public hearings. Meanwhile, former ADC of ex-President Jammeh alleged that former President Jammeh gave orders for the shooting of students in April 2000. Ansumana Esonyasi was there, and this is his report.
Appearing before commissioners of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, Lance Corporal Abdul Njai of the Gambia Armed Forces Thursday admitted firing live rounds at unarmed students in Brikama in April 2000, which led to the killing of 2 students, while 7 others sustained life-threatening injuries. The witness, whose name has been adversely mentioned by previous witnesses, also confessed to participating in the torture of arrested students and civilians.
2 people were killed on the spot.
ñaari nit ñoo dee ci taxawaay bi.
kon maa leen rey.
Then I killed them.
nangu naa.
I accept.
nangu naa ne maa leen rey.
I accept that I killed them. And the names are Usman Sabali and Seni Nyabali.
te ñooñu ñu ngi tudda Ousmane Sabali ak Seni Nyabali.
waaw dëgg la.
Yes, it's true. There were lots of other people who were shot
amoon na nag ñeneen
with a gun.
amoon na ñeneen ñoo xam ne ñu uute ak ñaar ñi dee ñoo xam ne ñoom it bali fetel dal na leen fetel nañ leen.
Ibrahima Seydi.
Ibrahima Seydi.
Kooku, he was shot in the stomach.
moom ci biir lañ ko fetel.
And Mr. Njai, it's not possible to shoot in the air and it end up in a person's stomach.
Meanwhile, the witness alleged he was ordered to open fire on the students by his immediate commander, Corporal Keita. He also told the commission that government's claim in the aftermath of the incident that only 1 live round was fired in Brikama is false, adding that he personally fired 104 bullets. Next to testify was Lalo Karamo Jaite, former ADC to ex-President Jammeh. In his testimony, the witness made disturbing revelations, alleging that he was with former President Jammeh when he angrily ordered the then Vice President Njai Seydi to instruct security officers to deal with the students by any means possible, a decision he believes led to the fatalities of April 10th and 11th, 2000.
Then I went to the president's door, which was his room, and my room was just a matter of some seconds' work. Then I knocked at the door. He opens the door, and I gave him the telephone. I told him there is a student strike. But when the reaction, he was also panicked. Immediately, I could understand from his reaction. Then I gave him the telephone. Then I returned the door back, and I was
Did you tell him who was
behind
on the line?
Yes, I told him the protocol officer of the vice president is on the line, and he said the vice president wants to talk to you concerning the student strike. Then I stood behind the door, and he was having the telephone and was talking. As he was talking, what struck me most was I immediately heard him saying that they should take care of this bastard in whatever form. Take care of this bastard in whatever form.
Furthermore, the witness also testified on the arrest of former State Guard Commander Landing Sane and the killing of Almamo Mane. In his testimony, the witness alleged that former Interior Minister Usman Sonko was responsible for Almamo Mane's killing, as he made ex-President Jammeh believe they were plotting to overthrow his government. The witness is expected to reappear before the commission next week to complete his testimony. Ansmane So Nyasi for QTV News.
A 66-year-old former carpenter is living with severe health challenges years after falling from a building at a construction site. Palm Bay is now bedridden and needs medical attention. Isa Jaini reports.
66-year-old Pap Momodumbai, popularly known as Palm Bay, is a native of Bansang, now residing in Talinding. A previously well-known carpenter by trade, Palm Bay is now handicapped and bedridden. He claimed he sustained life-changing injuries during the construction of the United Nations building in 1998. The job on the UN building, he said, was allegedly subcontracted to him by a local businessman. Palm Bay had established a very good reputation as a builder and carpenter, and many who knew him before his life changed so dramatically are shocked at his current condition. QTV visited his residence in Talinding, where he narrated his ordeal about the events of that fateful day that changed his life forever.
That day, we had finished everything and all that was left was the concrete slabs. We had over 100 bags of cement ready. I climbed up the building and shouted so the bags could be lowered to me. I bent down to fix something. As I got up, the bags of cement came crashing down on my head. Due to the weight of the bags, my neck was pushed into my shoulders. I was rushed to MRC and later to RVH. I was admitted for 4 months and 15 days. I was eating only liquid food with a pipe connected through my nose.
Palm Bay further added that he had sustained a fracture to his spinal cord, and doctors have concluded that he may never walk again unless he goes for medical treatment abroad. He also said he took the matter to court to get compensation, but to no avail. Paralyzed, wheelchair-bound, with a wife and 5 children, he said he had no other choice but to rely on begging to earn a living.
In the mornings, when I wake up, my son pushes me in my wheelchair to Kairawa shopping center. Here, people, especially the ones that knew me prior to my accident, give me something for the sake of God. This is how my family and I survived.
3 months ago, Mbai said he accidentally fell off his wheelchair. As a result, his condition got worse and now he is bedridden, thus cannot even go begging. With the proceeds he got from begging, Mr. Mbai said he managed to buy a piece of land and constructed a house hoping to move in with his family. That hope was dashed because he alleged that an estate company led by one Samba Kamara claimed the land belongs to them and his house was bulldozed. Because Mr. Mbai could not remember the name of the estate company, QTV was unable to contact or locate the alleged Samba Kamara for his reaction. Palm Bay now lives with his wife and 5 children in a 1-bedroom house. Awambe, his wife, says they are desperately in need of help.
Our rent and living costs are expensive. We're asking for assistance. I am unemployed and so are my older children. The doctors say treatment in Europe is our only hope. We're pleading with everyone. No amount is too small for us.
For QTV,
implementation of the ban in plastic use and importation in the Gambia appears to have stopped across the country. Vendors can be seen in the streets comfortably selling their commodities in plastic bags. Our reporter Mamadou Lamin Choi went out to find out why the ban is not being implemented. And this is his report.
The ban in use, sale and importation of plastic bags came into effect on the 1st of July 2015 on the ground of conserving Gambia's ecosystem. Sellers and users of plastic bags looked for an alternative for their daily services. The paper bag was introduced, which most vendors complained about its affordability and durability in that it is expensive and breaks easily. Jaina Baba, one of the vendors I met at the Serekunda market, relies heavily on plastic bags to sell her commodities.
It's because for us we don't have a correct alternative. If we have a better alternative, definitely we will not use it. It will ban totally because it's not part and parcel of the health. If we have a better alternative, definitely we will not touch it.
Vendors have shared views on the plastic bag ban. Abdurrahman Fall talks about the impossibility of implementing or adhering to the ban without better options.
Plastic bag bi dafa gëna yomb ci ñun té en plus boo koy utiliser xam nga du la diké dara quoi.
Plastic bag is more affordable to us. It costs us less money to use in our business and we feel more comfortable using it. If government decides to ban it, they should bring us good alternative. It wouldn't be easy for them to properly implement the ban. The National Environment Agency has responsibility for protection of the environment using regulations. Plastic bags pose serious threats to wildlife and the environment. The NEA has a role to play for the effective implementation of the ban and can either rely on law enforcers or local government authorities to implement the regulations. But are local government authorities helping the NEA?
We are working with our partners. We are trying to talk to the councils. Like as I said, there was a municipality that we went to. And then because the businessmen that were affected, came up, they wanted to make noise, demonstrate. And then the head of the council said we should stand down. He called the police that, ask your men to this. And of course, we cannot leave the inspectors to do this thing alone.
The National Environment Agency revealed that there have been 80 court cases in Birkama and 100 in KMC relating to those flouting the ban. The NEA adds that they prefer educating vendors about the dangers of plastic bags rather than resorting to courts at the first instance. However, there appears to be unwelcome reactions to the NEA inspectors by defiant vendors at the market.
Last month, our inspectors were scolded by nearly beaten by women at Serakunda market because they were alone. They just tried to enforce it, but they were scolded. So that's why a task force was set up that involved a security system.
Senegal banned the use of plastic bag in 2015, but the law was never put into effect. Importation of plastic bags into the Gambia becomes easy when the borders of the country are porous, with border agents relaxed about implementing and enforcing laws and regulations. Gambia's ban on plastic bags awaits implementation for a safe and healthy environment. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
From that report, let's take a short commercial break. When we come back, the news continues.
It is the new era in broadcasting. We showed it to you with our continuously improving content with thousands of viewers around the world. Now, how do you take advantage of our existing and constantly increasing viewership? Advertise with QTV and reach a large audience. Call us on 3244 or email marketing@qtv.gm. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. QTV Gambia. QTV, a new era in broadcasting.
Looking for internet for your free videos, pictures, chats, work, and school projects? Think free night browsing. QCell's free night browsing lets you browse the internet for free. Oh yeah. Get a data SIM, recharge a minimum of $500 and enjoy free browsing after 24 hours from midnight to 6 a.m. every night for 30 days. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is QTV News. The Kanifing Municipal Council, in collaboration with the UNDP, have taken a giant step to solve the long-standing problem of the Bakote dump site. The site will be closed and recycling of waste will be introduced. Mamjara Sise has more details.
Bakote Manjai dump site is one of the biggest dump located in the midst of the growing population. The dump site, according to residents, it has hugely affected their lives. In the past, residents made several proposals to the Kanifing Municipal Council to move the site or adopt waste disposal methods, but not much has been done, leading to a protest in 2017. KMC, in partnership with key stakeholders, have planned to relocate the site and recycle the already dumped waste to clean the site. Musaba, deputy mayor of KMC, explains why a huge step taken to stop dumping at the dump site.
Open burning and smoldering garbage are regular practices on the site. This has serious consequences on the environment and the health of the residents living around the dump site. The main aim of the council is to either close the dump site and relocate it or turn the waste into recyclable waste that is more environmentally friendly and would generate income, thereby improving lives and livelihoods of the residents of the municipality.
After a true analysis of research, findings and engagement with government, stakeholders and community members, a decision has been reached to transform the site, says Aisatadi, UNDP resident representative.
The municipality will also contribute significantly to climate change mitigation efforts as a recommendation made of alternative to waste management that will limit the burning and solid waste that reducing the emission of greenhouse gases. 3 steps have been identified to transform waste management in KMC, with the closure of the current dump site being the goal.
Kababa, a research scientist, explained the current situation of the dump site.
What we're here for is a study. That's the first phase on trying to find a solution to Bakote dump site. This research is to put together what we found by talking to people on the ground, talking to stakeholders, and capture the vision and views and thoughts of what can be done to close Bakote dump site. That's generally the big picture. This is just the very beginning of it, and it's basically the first phase on finding a way to come up with solutions to solving Bakote problem. Bakote has been a big health hazard. All of us grew up here. I can remember Bakote as far as when I was a little kid, and it's only getting worse. It's affecting our health, it's affecting our environment, it's affecting basically anything that's related to our country.
Lamin S. Sanyang, Director of Service, says closing down Bakote dump site and recycling of waste will benefit the youth as it will create employment.
We wanted to also partake in the employment of youths. You can see even in our Bali projects about 60 youths were employed to serve as secretaries and janitors. And when it comes to the Bakote dump site, any project that is coming, either waste to energy or recycling plant or whatever, it's going to employ youths, and then that will reduce the unemployment rate within the municipality.
The Bakote dump site has been a problem for decades, and its impact on the environment is immense. Now that a decision has been made to close the site and recycle the waste, the long-standing problem may soon be a thing of the past. Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara Asise.
A free surgical operation to restore the health of 100 patients has been organized by the Kanifing General Hospital in collaboration with Vision Development Foundation. Mamjara Asise again.
The 2-day event aims to reduce the waiting list of patients for awaiting operations who cannot afford it. The surgical camp is free and fully funded by Vision Development Foundation to the tune of $350,000. Dr. Musa Bite, Director of Health Service, says the free surgery is not currently available in all regions, but there are plans to introduce the treatment to the rural areas.
The solution to safer surgeries is to provide the training in country so that we have the required human resources at our doorsteps. This will provide much needed surgery to a large population. It also allows transfer of skills to local experts. It can also ensure maximum utilization of expertise not available in the country. So this is the way to go in solving the problems that are a backlog in this country.
Mr. Stehu Fofana, Director of Public Relations at Vision Development Foundation, explains the reason for the initiative.
We will come in and ensure that the surgical camp will be organized and will fund it so that those in need can be rescued. The doctors and the sisters and the operational team and all those who matters in ensuring that these 2 days is a very successful program.
Papanjai, a politician, urged private sector companies to invest in the health sector.
An investment not only from government to the health sector, but a private sector involvement. Private sector investment is very, very important because the government cannot do it all. And with private sector investment, not only having private hospitals, but also coming up with strategies whereby the general hospitals will have very expensive machines like MRIs stationed in the hospitals so that the private sector can work from there.
Fake Bajara, whose son was operated on, expressed gratitude to the hospital, staff, and sponsors of the surgery operation.
For 1.5 years, I have been going back and forth to help my son. I'm happy to bring my son here for free surgery. I'm just glad and I thank Allah for that. For a year, my son's bladder was swollen, but he has now been operated successfully. I thank everyone who has contributed for this initiative.
Last year, the success rate of surgical operations, also funded by Vision Development Foundation, was 85% out of 100 patients. For QTV News, I am Mamjara Asise.
The Gambia Revenue Authority, GRA, organized a tax awareness seminar with the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry Women Entrepreneurs. Lamin Dabo has more details.
The seminar reaches out to stakeholders to increase their level of taxation awareness, particularly tax compliance. The GRS Director of Policy and Planning, Yahya Mane, urged participants to broaden their awareness of different aspects of paying tax, ranging from cross-border trading to importation and domestic taxes, among others.
So this engagement not be the last. GRA offices are all over the place in the country. We have opened tax offices in various locations to make compliance easier for all the taxpayers. So if you have any doubts, you can walk into any of these tax offices. We have officers there who are responsible to provide taxpayer services, and they will be very much happy to receive you and also answer your questions.
Beatrice Moj, CEO Gambia Women's Chamber of Commerce, says business registration is very important and urge women to get their businesses registered.
We keep telling the women, you need to register your business because there are so much facilities and opportunities coming. But if it comes, it will only go to the women who have businesses registered under their name. If you don't have a business in your name, you don't benefit. So even access to finance, we've been dealing with microfinance institutions and banks. They do ask for your GRA returns receipt. So if you don't also register with GRA and pay your taxes, when you want to get loans from the bank, it's going to be a deterrent.
Olimatuddin Sar, Senior Business Development Officer of GCCI, says women entrepreneurs will also be trained in bookkeeping to help them manage their businesses.
Keeping proper records is one of the first steps you need to consider in order to be able to fulfill your tax obligations, because it's based on your records that you will be able to know what type of taxes or how much you need to pay in terms of tax to the GRA. And we've always been an advocate for bookkeeping, and to that effect we've had series of trainings that was geared towards helping women in business, not even women, other businesses, to be able to keep financial records, bookkeeping, transactions. And what we normally do encourage also to have a separate business account from the personal account.
Alaji Esa Jallo, the Deputy Commissioner General of GRA, said GRA's role is not only limited to collecting tax.
Also a public institution set up to provide public service. In other words, we should be able to educate and sensitize our taxpayers, provide all the services that will make compliance easy and less costlier to our taxpayers. And that is why we organize this event, so that they understand all the processes and procedures that are involved in their compliance. So that way GRA will make life very easy for them in terms of complying with the various tax obligations they have.
After the training, the women entrepreneurs are expected to impact the knowledge gained during the training to their colleagues who could not attend the event. For QTV News, Lamin Alaj Fandin Dabo.
Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main news headlines. Lance Corporal Abdunjai of the Gambia Armed Forces on Thursday admitted participating in the shooting and torturing of students at Brikama on the 11th of April in the year 2000. He made this revelation while testifying at the ongoing Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission public hearings. Meanwhile, former ADC of ex-President Jammeh alleged that former President Jammeh gave orders for the shooting of the students in April 2000. A 66-year-old former carpenter is living with severe health challenges years after falling from a building at a construction site. Pambai is now bedridden and needs medical attention. Implementation of the ban in plastic use and importation in the Gambia appears to have stopped across the country. Vendors can be seen in the streets comfortably selling their commodities in plastic bags. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Bye for now.